Everything is new again, walking with a permagrin, head so high. I'm back with you and all is right. Shaking on the apple tree, ticking off the honeybees, watch them fly. It's just like we never said goodbye.
Hey guys, how you doing? What's up? It's NihonTiger. Welcome back to the NeoCraft server. As always, we are busy working on a project here. It's snowing, so I have a lot of snow to deal with, but today have the Great Dam here to finish up. So what I want to do is I want to actually, if I can here, kind of get started on this. I'm trying to remember how I had this set up. I think I had it set up where it's like a block there. And I'm actually looking, thankfully I have a second monitor. I can actually kind of look off screen now and take a look at some of my build screenshots that I take. I don't have to go back and forth like I used to do all the time. So it's a huge advantage that I have now with this second monitor that I have. But I figured today we would kind of do the groundwork for this, at least laying some of the detail work down to see how it looks on this server. I think that's probably the most important thing, because this is all going to be, again, much like the walls, this is all going to be andesite eventually. So I think I hit it like that. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I have to be very careful here because I'm right on the edge of the cliff and I can't really get back up if I screw this up, at least not that easily. So let's see, 2, 3, 4. Okay, there we go. And then the middle part here is supposed to be, I think, that. And I have these are the bricks. So boop. 1, 2, boop. Oh, is this something doesn't seem right here, because this seems like it's off by 1 block somewhere. Hi, creepers. Hi. Hi, go away. Okay. So let's take a look here. Let's take a look. So that is right. Is it off by 1 block over here somewhere? No, that looks okay too. Oh crap. I feel like I may have set this up for 23 instead of being, or 22 instead of being 23, or whatever I needed to set it up for. So let's dig our way back up here real quick. Make sure I got this counted properly. I may have to do a little bit of redesigning if that's the case. So, So let's see here. So this is... the easiest way to do this would be really easy if we could do it this way. Easiest way to do this is just to set this up with the parapets, or the battlements. I would say parapets. I don't mean to say parapets. I don't think that's the right term. But I had this set up, so this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6, 2, 3, 4. And we'll just make this cobble for now, just to fill in the gaps. Just for the sake of making sure that I have this lined up properly. If not, I'll have to make some impromptu adjustments. And I think I know what I'll do if I have to adjust it. Yep. Okay, so it's going to be off by 1. So what that means is I'm going to move all of this down by 1 block. Oh, a little bit of lag tonight. So I'm going to move all of this down over here. Move this all down one more block. So this will be kind of... Oh, I fell off. Damn it! Why do I keep doing that? But I fell off That was off by 1 block. It was 24 instead of 23, and I have this set up for 23, but that's a small adjustment I can easily make. So let's dig this all out, because this is all now off by just a little bit. So today while we are doing this, I thought it would be a wise idea. Oh, yeah, my pick broke. I'm gonna have to use a little bit. Oh, I should mention this if you haven't seen it. My pants broke, so I made diamond pants finally. Because remember what our rule is. We will make diamond armor as our old armor breaks. So we have had a little bit of breakage there. So yeah, this is correct, right? This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. And so this becomes then 1, 2, middle, 4, there. And these are going to be solid blocks. So I mentioned, I think in the last episode, that I couldn't use any wood on building this. So this is all why I'm using especially nether brick, because it's fairly not flammable, and that's an important thing with the surprise that we're going to have. And I still feel like I don't want to give it away. I still feel like I want to kind of keep it a little secret, but I'm sure you guys can figure out exactly what's going on here, why I have to why I can't do anything flammable. So one of the other things I was deciding was I didn't know if I wanted to have 3 or 2 fences on each of these sections. I don't know. I kind of like both options. Depends, I guess, which kind of look I want, if I want them to be more open-faced or closed-faced. I might have to take a look and figure that out. And I mean, I have a ton of fence now, so it's not like I'm hurting for fence. So let's see, I've got these stairs. I really also need to make a way to get back up. So right now I'm stuck. So this by the way is the inside of where all of that glorious dirt is. So here, I'll just make a path this way. Alright, so I'm gonna have to eventually, I guess, fill in this with something to make it nice and even, because otherwise it's gonna throw off my plan here. So let's see. What can we do? I know what we can talk about at least. I remember what we were going to talk about today, because I had an interesting thought a while ago, and it's not going to be about the Twitch thing. I've already tweeted about my thoughts on the Amazon purchase of Twitch.tv. For those of you who don't follow me on Twitter, you might have missed it. I will link it in the description, as I try to sometimes remember to do, but I've already kind of given my opinion and my thoughts on that. So, for long story short, for those of you who don't quite know what my opinion is on it, it's kind of a wait and see approach, where I'm like basically thinking, okay, it could be good, it could be bad. We have to wait and see on it a little bit. And I mean, there's lots of things I can talk about as far as why Twitch did it, why Twitch decided to go with Amazon, or really why Amazon decided to go and purchase Twitch. That's kind of the thing. It wasn't Twitch deciding, oh, we're gonna sell ourselves to Amazon. It was more Amazon dumped a boatload of money in their laps, and they're like, yeah, it'd be stupid to pass this up, and quite so, that would be really stupid if they passed that up. So, ooh. There we go. So I think this will be all a-okay when I'm done with this. But today I wanted to talk a little bit again. I think I've mentioned this in the past, but I do want to talk a little bit again about Patreon, and actually kind of dedicate a full episode to Patreon, my thoughts on it, and whether or not I will ever do one of those silly Patreon things. So, first things first, I have to say it's a rather interesting idea, and it's a concept that I can kind of get behind as far as general idea. So basically, for for those of you who don't know, Patreon is a company or a service that allows you to donate. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. But it allows you to donate to a content creator. It doesn't have to be YouTube. A lot of YouTubers will use it, but it does not have to be YouTube at all. There are people who, I have artist friends who are on Patreon. There are musicians who are on Patreon. There are mod makers actually have kind of hopped on Patreon. It's a nice way to make a little bit of money, especially since you used to be unable to. I think they got rid of the ability to kind of put advertising on the download links, so it's kind of their source of income, and people can hop on in and donate X amount of money. Usually like anything else, you donate a certain amount of money, you get certain perks that people who don't donate that amount of money get. It's a little bit like Kickstarter, except without without a whole bunch of the sketchiness that comes with Kickstarter. And well, I say that in the sense that Kickstarter allows some very, very sketchy things on their site. But let's see here. What do I want to do now? Oh yeah, I want to make more of these so that I can make many, many more stairs. But yeah, but Patreon is kind of an alternate funding source for a lot of YouTubers and streamers and various peoples, because the sales of advertising on videos and streams is somewhat volatile in that it's not always consistent. I'll give a good example of this. I keep saying the more you know, do NBC. But what was I gonna say? Yes, the volatileness of online advertising, and especially with videos, because videos are so commonplace. Videos are all, there's all kinds of videos, and YouTube does not really discern between advertising on one type of video over another. It's basically, here's how much money you get based on the number of hits you get on this video, regardless of if it's hits that are from one audience or another. So that kind of makes it a little bit weird to actually try and advertise on YouTube, because you don't know if you're going to hit the audience. You can't really say, I would like to run ads on PewDiePie's next video for my horror movie, next scary game he does. You might be able to do it with Polaris. I'm sure Polaris could arrange for that, but I don't think it's something where ads are especially super targeted towards certain audiences, even though that's kind of how everything's supposed to work with advertising. But based on your CPM, or your clicks per minute, I think is the actual word, you get a certain percentage, or you get a certain monetary amount, usually in amounts of about 1,000 CPM. So usually it's maybe some people will get up to $1, but most people will get perhaps about 5-10 cents on 1,000 views. It's not very profitable. But Patreon, in a way, kind of is acting as an alternative revenue source. It's a way to make some money and not have to worry about terms changing. Like perhaps for example, YouTube could, Google really could wake up one day and say, we're going to change the way that AdSense works, and we're going to lower our CPMs to 3 cents for every 2,500 views on a video. And then if you're getting all your money through YouTube, and you were getting maybe 50 cents per 1,000 CPM, that's a huge drop. And it could be volatile like that because of the fact that on the internet there is always there's pretty much infinite supply for advertising space. You can open up a new website tomorrow and that would increase the amount of advertising space. You could upload a new video, and that would put another video that YouTube can put ads on. So it becomes kind of a problem if your main revenue source is YouTube, because you don't always know if your next meal is going to be paid for with that video or not that you just put out. And that's kind of a scary situation to be in, I think, as a content creator. Just that uncertainty. And Patreon kind of works, a little bit like Kickstarter does, where they get I'm sure, they get a cut of whatever the cost is for, however much money you make, I guess would be a better way to say it than saying costs, because to me, I think cost kind of indicates that there's some kind of monetary cost for them to do it besides hosting the site, which is not really true. I think, they do host the site and they host the service and they make a little bit of profit off of it. So how did I have this set up? Okay, I think I had it set up like, no. Here we go. Like that? I think so. I think that's how I had it set. Yeah, that looks right. That looks right. And then that. And then this is going to be a redstone lamp. I have a growing issue here that most of my build will be taking up obscene amounts of redstone lamps, and I don't have enough to actually go around. So let's see here. That, and then I think that's kind of the pattern that I have here for this part. And then we'd have that comes down, and then like that, 3, 4, and I think just down here I'm just gonna make it like so. Oh, hi. Let me get my sword. Hi. Dead. But it is an interesting idea. Steady revenue is good. Having that money that you can always turn to at the end of the month is much, much better than having something that's increasingly perhaps volatile for your source of income. So I can see why a lot of people are on the Patreon bandwagon. As for me, I don't know if I'm going to do it. I don't know if I'm going to do it. And yeah, there are perhaps unethical things that you can do with Patreon. Like I'll give a good example. You could sell specific access to something and say, oh, you have to, to do this, you have to give me $25. And there is a choice you have to make at some point, obviously, about whether you're going to fork out the money for whatever it is they're trying to sell, or you're going to maybe just say, no, I don't think so. I don't think that I'm going to spend $50 on your stupid thing. But, yeah, it's a very interesting concept, and it's a concept I've thought perhaps about doing. I'm not quite a fan of the oh my god, ooh, ow. I'm not really a fan of the people who are perhaps using it to sell like premium access to something. I don't think that's the way to go about doing it. I think that's kind of a shady way of doing things. Like there are people like, oh, if you give me X amount of money, I'll give you a phone call at the end of the month, something, or I'll let you play on this special server that I made just for people who donate this much amount of money. And of course, when a new EULA comes out for Minecraft, that's going to be perfectly legal to do that. So I really won't have a leg to stand on and complain about it. But for now, I can say that I'm not necessarily a fan of it. So can I? Oh no, those are two. So I have to come up with a slightly different design here for the back, but I want to keep the kind of the same aesthetic look. So let's hop on up here, and then that, boop, and doot, and doot, 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 doot. Okay. So the idea behind Patreon is it's basically a more stable way to fund your I guess perhaps for some people, hobby, or other people who are more serious to YouTube, your career. You know, I've mentioned I don't feel it's personally right to sell access or, you know, use Patreon as a way to do things like, you know, I'm going to buy a new car and thank you, patrons, for being able to help me afford it, because that's what I use your Patreon money for. Not on anything for my streaming or my videos. I use it to buy a fancy new car. And, you know, obviously it would only apply to a couple of YouTubers in particular who would be that powerful to garner that much money. But, I mean, that's like Kickstarter. It is a little bit of an issue to think about, is that there's really no control as far as how would I want to put this? There's really no controls over where the money goes once it's done. Obviously, a Patreon, I haven't seen any issues with Patreon being possibly a ground for like a scam, like, you know, Panorama or something like that. It was a scam for kids who got told that, yeah, we're gonna have all this stuff in New York City, and then it all kind of fell out, and the people who had all the money kind of took the money and ran, like they were Steve Miller Band song. But truth be told, I think it's, for the most part, I think it's pretty much problem free right now. So that's the good news. Now, the thing I wanted to talk about a little bit was me and Patreon, because that's something I've talked about in the past. I've kind of brushed off any talk of me doing Patreon stuff in the past. I kind of thought, oh, I don't need to do it. I'm not worrying about that. I'm not, you know, YouTube famous enough to have to worry about it, and I'm still not YouTube famous enough to have to worry about it. But I have seen some people who are smaller channels than me attempt and successfully get money through Patreon. You know, not much money, but enough money to perhaps help cover a few expenses. And I have to say, it's pretty tempting, since I just spent a bunch of money on my second monitor, and I've spent money on many things to help do video stuff on YouTube here. I have to be honest with you. You know, I do spend a lot of money out of pocket to handle this stuff, and I usually don't ask anybody for anything as far as, oh, I forgot to put a block in there. Oh wait, no, that's the no, that's not where that goes. There is a block that goes there, right? No, there's not. Okay, so this is actually supposed to be set in one. All right, I messed that up. So this is supposed to be like right here, and then this goes down. Okay, we got that. We got that fixed. Good. We got that fixed. So like that. That's weird. Some lagginess. Wait a minute, let me. There's some lagginess there. I'm looking toward the middle, huh? Bizarre. Really? It's still 60 FPS, huh? Don't know what's causing it. Let me see here. Huh. That's weird. Well, I'm actually going to check something out here and make sure there's not something else that's causing an issue. So I'm going to pause my recording right here, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I am back, and I fixed, I think, whatever was causing the lag issue. So, hooray! Let's see, that's the bottom part, right? Oh, okay, yeah, that needs to be, I don't know why I did it like that, because this needs to be up one. That's not right. So this goes like that, and then that goes like this. But yeah, I've spent, as I was mentioning, I've spent quite a bit of money just buying things that needed to be upgraded, that needed to be changed out, that broke and needed to be fixed on my computer, or anything that's related to YouTube here. So headsets, microphones. It's not been a very cheap hobby, I guess you could say. And I've had some thoughts about possibly setting up a Patreon myself for people who may want to contribute a little bit of money here or there to the NihonTiger cause. Now, I'm still kind of weighing things. I'm not, it's not confirmed for Brawl or Patreon or anything of that nature. I haven't really decided yet if I'm actually going to do it or if I'm just gonna sit on my hands and just do what I do for now. Continue to upgrade things as I can afford to upgrade them and hope that nothing breaks on me, which is not necessarily the most fun thing in the world, but it is the cheapest way to go about it. So let's see. So this comes down here. So basically I just have to kind of do, can I do like that? That might be good. That'd be good as a nice little texture pop there, having the full blocks instead of the stairs. So there we go. Make it a little nicer. I didn't actually construct a full-scale model of this. I only did the top part because the top part was the most important to me. So I think I can do like that, and then like that, and then like that. Move that torch. Oh, there's a torch. Got flung all the way across the map. But yeah, I've had some serious considerations for doing Patreon. For those of you that don't know, I don't get any money from YouTube or Twitch or anything else that I do. I don't run ads on my channel. For those of you that have paid attention, probably know that you've probably haven't seen an ad on any of my videos, and that's a purposeful choice. I don't make enough in my potential earnings that I would really even need to consider doing that, because I just don't, like, the number of views I get on my videos are just nothing compared to bigger channels, and it's not worth it. Google pays out, I think, at, oh, there we go. I think Google pays out every $100 on AdSense, and I'm pretty sure I haven't even gotten to $100 yet, so I don't think it would be worth my time to do the AdSense way right now. But there are, and plus, as I mentioned before, it's a little bit unstable, so I don't necessarily feel the most comfortable doing it that way. But there are definitely other options, and Patreon's one of them, and it's one I've considered possibly going through, because I think it's a good way to actually handle that, so that people can contribute in an amount that they think is fair and decent. So my main issue isn't so much that I don't know if I want to do it, it's that I don't have anything beyond what I would call the no ads tax, or the kind of like the lowest tier, which would be like $1 or $2 donation. It would get you a thank you or something nice, and I don't even know what I'm gonna do for that. But the idea here would be kind of the $1 or $2 range. The lowest range would be perhaps the, hey, you've watched my videos, I don't run ads on them, so if you would be so kind as to donate $1 or $2, I would probably actually make up for most of the ad revenue that I would have gotten from a video in a month or so. And if I had like 30 people do that, that's $30, and $30 over the course of a year is fairly nice. It's, about $300, which would be $300 more than I've ever made off of any Minecraft YouTube related thing to date. But that's kind of the big issue that I've had is, one, what would I do for larger tiers? Because I don't have any ideas on what I want to do. A lot of people will be like, oh, you can do a vlog. Kurt's doing a vlog. I don't need to really do a vlog. I don't feel like I should have you guys pay money for me to do a vlog. It seems kind of a little bit much. And Kurt's a different story. It's what he's probably more comfortable with, because I know he's not really much of a in front of the camera guy. I'm a little bit more of an in front of the camera kind of guy. I don't actually do that too much, but I would be a lot more comfortable doing vlogs and stuff. Except the only problem for me, or the only issue I can think of, is that I would probably spend way too much time going over each of those vlogs and just being like, no, I gotta redo this. I'm not satisfied with it. I gotta start over again. This is bad. Oh my god, why is my hair like that? You know, the whole self-conscious thing I talked about in the last episode kind of rears its head in those situations. So that's something that I would have to think about. So my ideas of where the money would go, well, first and foremost, it would go to any upgrades that I would need. I don't really intend to pocket, just walk away and pocket everything and be like, I'm gonna just take your money and give you nothing for it. Haha, suckers. That seems kind of mean in a way, I guess you could call it. I'm not that kind of person, obviously, so you don't have to worry about that. So let's see. I want to leave those holes there because those are supposed to be where our special sauce for the dam is going to go in. I don't know if I want to reveal what it is yet. I'll probably figure it out. If I'm building holes for something to go through, what would possibly go through these giant holes that I'm creating? I don't know. Is there anything that's perhaps a little bit hot that might work? Maybe. We'll have to see. But the idea is the money that I would potentially get from this would be money that would go toward, first and foremost, I want to be able to expand my music library. I have a lot of artists who I either want to be able to give a donation to for using their music, because there's a lot that are like, okay, just donate whatever you feel is fair. And I feel like for me, I feel like a good sized donation of appreciation is the best way to go about that. Just to kind of be like, hey, keep on rocking what you're doing, and use this one to kind of cover for all the other people that might not donate to you. They might just say free music, I'll take that, and then they take your music, and then you get nothing out of it besides obviously the publicity that they might tell their friends about your songs or your music, and that's fine and dandy. But that also does not pay for your instruments or your rent or your electricity that you might use when you're mixing the music in your music laboratory. And I like to believe that musicians have music laboratories, and they're like lyrical mad scientists, yo. But I kind of want to be able to do that, and be able also to just to buy the music, because that's a big component too. Just that music doesn't come cheap, and while I do have probably enough funds where I could afford some more music, and I probably will buy some more in the very near future. I feel like I could buy a ton more if I had, a lot more money. Of course, we all probably think that, right? Right. But I feel like that would be, for me, I think that would probably be the first thing that would go toward improved music library for my YouTube videos and my streams and everything else. So one of the other things I was thinking about was also using it not just to make perhaps a donation. I don't even know if I want to do that. I think that'd be kind of sketchy to use your money for making donations to charity and it's not in your name. I don't think I would do that. I thought about that for a while, but I decided ultimately I don't think I want to use it for, hey, let's make a big donation to charity with all my Patreon money. If I just wanted to do that, I would just ask you guys for donations. To be like, hey, we're all going to donate together, and we'll all do this together, and it'll be in all of our names. It won't just be in my name. Because it's a team effort for those fundraising things, and I don't want to take all the glory. But let's see here. Oh, I actually need some regular cobble stairs and slabs now. But that's a thing that I've thought about doing, would be perhaps donating not necessarily to charities, but to smaller developers. Perhaps a developer that has put out a game for free that I really enjoy, that I perhaps play on a stream or two, and I want to be like, okay, I want to give these guys some money so they can continue their development, because like the musicians, game development does not come cheap, and I feel if you really enjoy something, you should find a way, or if you really enjoy something or you use something to bring joy to people and the people who are making it are struggling, you should find some way to support them. So let's see here. This goes down to here, and then this is, I think, there and there. But yeah, I want to do that. And I kind of thought about doing that with some of the Patreon money, but then I thought, I had another idea. And the idea was perhaps once I get back to kind of streaming more regularly, what we could do is we would, let's say ideally I would like to do this every week, but let's say every 2 weeks, we'd pick an indie game or 2 or 3 that I haven't played yet and play it on stream. And then if people are really digging it, you can make a donation to them. Or if I'm really digging it, I can make like a donation based off donations given stream during the time period I'm playing the game. So we could say, oh, for this hour, we're gonna play this game by Company X, and all of the donations toward me for this hour are gonna go toward Company X and their game XYZ awesomeness. I'm totally just making up a name here. Oh, okay, so I think I'm actually, this is supposed to be up 1. Okay, so that's fine. This is fine. This is fine. This is just supposed to be like this. Okay, so like that, and then put the dirt back down, and then the slabs on top of that. So here we go, like so. Like so. There we go. Sorry, I had to pause my mic for a moment there and turn my mic off because I was gonna cough. Ugh, hate that. So that might be an idea that we do, but we won't do it as part of the Patreon. The things I can tell you that I wouldn't use it for would be probably DLC, not necessarily like new game DLC, but like extra skins in League of Legends or extra hats in TF2 or something like that. I might not even use it for in-game DLC because I feel kind of dirty with that. It feels bad to be like, hey guys, I spent your money on TF2 hats. Hooray! Now you can look fancy while we talk about our games. I just don't, perhaps for me, I just don't feel like that's the wisest use of other people's money, is for little things that you can wear in a game. Despite the fact that I do like hats. I do like the hats in TF2 a lot of the time. I just don't think that it'd be wise or smart or really not crappy to do that. So I won't do that. That's something, if I ever do at Patreon, that's something I definitely won't do, is take all your hard-earned money and turn it into hats. That would be pretty cool. That would be a cool magic trick if I could make hats out of money. Or that would just mean I'm really good at origami. I don't know. One or the other. But I was thinking mostly what it would go toward would be just the music library, perhaps expanding my game library a little bit here and there. I don't know if I need to really, at this time, expand it. I have a lot of stuff that I haven't even played yet. So I kind of feel like maybe I should focus on playing those games I haven't played so far and enjoying those first, and then we'll worry about using using your money to buy new games. And if I did, even then, it would be games you guys want to see me play. It wouldn't be like, oh, I used your money on a game that nobody wants, but I do. So ha 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 ha. It would be more like, okay, you guys donated, and a lot of you guys were requesting me to play X game in your donation, so I've bought this game. I might suck at it, but we'll give it a shot tonight. So that's kind of one of the ideas I thought about. I think mostly, it would just be for music and for music purposes, and then for technology related purchases like new equipment, new editing equipment, new camera equipment. I don't have a decent webcam, so I couldn't do like a face cam or even a vlog, too much vlog stuff right now. So that would be kind of a thing I'd want to spend the money on if I did get it. But again, that's not something that is likely to happen anytime soon, because I'm fairly certain that I won't be setting up a Patreon. I actually will probably say that I probably won't set one up, at least at this time. But, I don't also envision it as being something that will earn me dozens and dozens of dollars a month. Maybe it'll earn me like $5-10, and that's about it. I don't envision it being some kind of life-changing thing where it's like, oh, I can quit my job now. See you, suckers. It probably is more of a, hey, thanks for supporting me. I can afford a few more small things to make my quality of my videos and my streams better. Maybe I can upgrade to the super highest tier that Time Warner offers before Comcast destroys it or something. I don't know. It's a possibility. But yeah, I've been rambling for long enough. Almost got this finished on the front. It is looking nice. It is looking very, very nice. Very nice. I like. And this is pretty much, I would say, what the finished product will look like. Obviously, I have to go fill in that hole there, and I just have to kind of do these two lanes down here. But I'm just gonna come out and say it now. I've teased it for too long, and it doesn't make any sense if I don't explain it. There's going to be a trap inside the wall. It's going to be a lava trap, and that's why I can't have any burnable stuff in here, is because it will basically burn the whole thing down every time I use it. And I intend to use it perhaps if I need to, in case someone decides they want to raid me or something. But there will be a lava trap that comes down the side of the dam here, and that's why it's called the dam as well, because it's actually holding back something. It's holding back, see those, let me see if I can get up here, but see the little alcoves up here where I've kind of indented in a little bit? That's actually where the lava is going to be coming from. And the one thing that's missing, obviously, the one thing I don't have much of right now is redstone lamps, because I'm low on glowstone, and not so much on redstone. I have a lot of redstone, but the glowstone I don't have a lot of, and it's becoming increasingly hard for me to go to the nether and find any that hasn't already been mined to death. Let me see here. I want to see if I can do something. I'm just looking at something down here. I think I can make this look even nicer. Let's see, I put down that there, and that there. I think that looks nice. That looks better, I think. Yeah, that looks a lot nicer. It looks a lot nicer. So I do have to do something with this right here. That's a good question on what I'm going to do. Maybe I'll patch this up a little bit, but that's something I'll have to figure out off camera. So, got this episode done. We talked a little bit about Patreon, the possibilities of doing it, my thoughts on some of the things related to Patreon, and whether or not I would actually ever consider doing one. And the answer I think right now is maybe, but I don't know. So I'm going to go ahead and see if I can find some redstone and some glowstone and nether, and put them together, see if I can throw all of this into basically being almost done except for the andesite. And then we'll come back next time on NeoCraft and give us... Oh, actually, these should be... We are talking about keeping this the same. These should actually be slabs. I just thought about that. Dummy. Dummy, dummy, dummy. Should have known better. There we go. There we go. That's better. So, that's all for now, guys. And as I like to say, good luck, good mining, have fun, and I will see you guys next time here on the NeoCraft server. Hopefully with a mostly finished dam.